Abusuafo mmɛmma obi bi akɔ aba. Ade baako a ɛyɛ NDC amanyɔkuo no de campaign de tia NPP amanyɔkuo no kɛse paa ɛyɛ galamsey a na kyerɛ sɛ ɛrekɔ so wɔ ɔman Ghana mu ase na kyerɛ sɛ ɛne yɛn nyan sɛ yɛn nsase, yɛn nsuo ne yɛn dua ne nneɛma bebree a na kyerɛ sɛ ɛresɛe no. Na NDC foɔ no ɛrekyerɛ sɛ NPP amanyɔkuo no ɛresɛe ɛyɛ ɔman Ghana yie paa with galamsey nti sɛ Ghanafoɔ to aba de ma wɔn a wɔbɛtu galamsey ase. Na NPP amanyɔkuo no kyerɛ sɛ Chinafoɔ ma ɔman Ghana mu ase ɛna ɛsɛ yɛn nsuo ne yɛn nsase nti eduru mmerɛ bi no ɛma ɛyɛ NPP amanyɔkuo no ɛdepɔte ɛyɛ Chinafoɔ no bebree na ɛfiri ɔman Ghana mu ase. Firi sɛ wɔn wɔ gyidie sɛ ɛyɛ Chinafoɔ no ɛna ɛsɛ ɛyɛ Ghana yɛn nsase anaasɛ wɔn yɛ galamsey dodoɔ no ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu ase. Wei ɛma NDC foɔ kyerɛ sɛ wɔn boa NPP amanyɔkuo nsɛm a wɔka yi nokorɛ bi ɛne hɔ a ɛwɔ mu na NPP mpanyinfoɔ no ara na ɛreyɛ galamsey no. Na Ghanafoɔ ɛto aba no de ma NDC amanyɔkuo na galamsey me ne wo kasa yi deɛ galamsey deɛ ɛte a na ɛte egu so ɛrekɔ so paa kyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa. NDC foɔ no nso de abɛto abɔnten sɛ Chinafoɔ no nso ɛna ɛma galamsey yi ɛrekɔ so ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu ase yi na wei nso na ɛyɛ Ghanafoɔ no kyerɛ sɛ mobɛkaa sɛ ɛyɛ moba a mobɛtu galamsey ase na adɛn nti na mo nso moka sɛ ɛyɛ Chinafoɔ ɛna ɛsɛ ɛyɛ galamsey ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu ase. Wei na ama China ambassador baako atumi de nsɛm bebree abɛto abɔnten sɛ wɔn wɔ ntɔkwa bi a wɔn hwɛ so na wɔn fight na wɔn gyae sɛ wɔn blame ɛyɛ Chinese a wɔbɛpie mu wɔ ɔman Ghana mu ase ɔsɛ wɔn ɛna ɛsɛ ɛyɛ anaasɛ wɔn ɛna egu so ɛyɛ galamsey. Na aban baako a kyerɛ sɛ ɔreba no ɔde bɛto abɔnten sɛ ɔba a obetu ɛyɛ galamsey ase. Mumia nkotie ɛyɛ Chinesefoɔ no anaasɛ Ghanafoɔ nsɛm a wɔka fa ɛyɛ saa galamsey ne Chinesefoɔ a wɔkyerɛ sɛ NDCfoɔ ɛreblame wɔn ɛfa galamsey. Mumia nkotie nsɛm no mu nkyɛn. Subscribe to my channel, like it, and for adwenkyerɛ gu comment section kamakama. Mede obi bi ase.
Arguing that galamsey is deeply embedded in Ghana's economic survival and that total eradication is unrealistic.
I think in this country, to my understanding, you can never eliminate those small minings. If you use small minings, there will always have illegalities involved in it.
He pushed back against claims that Chinese nationals are primarily responsible for illegal mining, describing such narratives as unfair and misleading. According to him, most Chinese involved in illegal mining are laborers drawn in by Ghanaians rather than the masterminds.
Galamsey is not issue of China. Galamsey is doesn't caused by Chinese. You guys know what's the problem. You guys know several million people live in those small minings. How many Chinese over here involved in these galamseys? You can't. Because Chinese government takes strong, strict measures. Now, I already tell you that we do not issue them visas. Those people who want to come over here, they cannot easily get the passport. And you can see why the vice mayor of Nanning I mentioned, I didn't come to the details. They approached your Minister of Foreign Affairs to talk about the issues because some tiny people who were caught sometimes by police or by immigration office come from that city alone. So we Chinese government taking a lot of efforts on dealing with the issues.
Governance expert Professor Bafu agrees that the real problem lies in internal systems that enable collusion rather than foreigners. He calls for urgent introspection in the fight against illegal mining.
There must be some kind of official collusion with whoever is the contractor to bring in these people. So in that respect, he is right. The problem is us, not the Chinese. That I think we must take seriously. So those interested in combating these heinous atrocities against our environment must begin to focus on how we get these people into the country in the first place.
Civil society groups, including the Coalition Against Illegal Mining, are mounting pressure for an end to environmental destruction and demanding prosecution of politically connected actors, including foreign collaborators.
Investigations of all mentioned in the Professor Frimpong Boateng report. There are a lot of politically exposed persons that have been mentioned in that report, and that should be looked into. And finally, transparent prosecution with no political protection. We've heard the president say that he will not cover anybody. We've heard the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources say that there would be no, what do they normally call it, order from above, so far as this is concerned. We need to see that translated into action.
That we don't understand. So, Foreign Minister Sammy Okudzeto Ablakwa here, the youngest, I believe the youngest foreign minister that we've ever had. Congratulations to him in that regard. He decided to do a shake-up at the Ghanaian embassy in Washington not long ago. We all heard it. People applauded it. But it appears that his shake-up has created a lot more difficulty. So the allegations that were raised by him, which has been raised by him again in Parliament yesterday, is that there's a syndicate at Ghana's embassy in Washington, and that syndicate is visa racketeering for Ghanaians who are also Americans, dual citizens, who are looking for visa to come to Ghana. Ablakwa indicated that the process is corrupted by some gentleman. He mentioned the name, a certain Mr. Kwating, and that he has made himself a middleman, intercepted the process, takes money from people, keeps the money, and issues them visas, and that he was going to pull that down. In fact, he actually closed down the embassy, unfortunately, for a few days. Well, he announced an indefinite closure. Later, he came and said it will be open on a certain day. Everybody was wild because closing down embassy is a diplomatic statement. That means quite a bit. Anybody who studied a bit of politics will know, or international politics will know, that announcing that an embassy has been closed in another person's country really is a political diplomatic statement. That means something. It indicates a certain hostility between the two countries. So I guess he was spoken with, and quickly he came and changed it, and the embassy is opened. Now, a few days later, a lady comes up on social media who is not well known. She says she's Jamaican and Ghanaian and American, and that she can't understand how she's not able to access a visa from the embassy. Phone calls go dead, emails go dead, nobody replies, and this is all happening under the aegis of the foreign minister. Now, today, or was it yesterday? I think it's today. The foreign minister was in Parliament, and he said this. Ablakwa blames U.S. Postal Services for visa delivery delays. I didn't understand it. U.S. Postal Services are to be blamed for the visa delivery delays. Is there a breakdown in U.S. Postal Services that the American authorities have not announced? Is there a problem at the U.S. Postal Services? When he said it, he didn't quite explain it. He just said that the Postal Services, I've never seen a foreign minister blame U.S. Postal Services for delays in issuing visa to your people. I don't understand it. I mean, it's really, really interesting. But that's what he said. And I don't know. So today in Parliament, this is what he said. And let me read it. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has attributed delays in the delivery of U.S. visa and passports to logistical challenges on the part of the United States Postal Services. I'm sure that Minister Kofi Boah might have a better explanation to this. You know why I'm saying that? I'm saying that because Minister Kofi Boah used to be Postmaster General at Washington, D.C., one of the highest offices held by any African for a very long time in Washington, D.C. That was celebrated among many Ghanaian communities in America. At that time, we're in Ghana, we heard that a Ghanaian has become the Postmaster General. It's a very, very important position in Washington. Because our post offices don't work, it might sound not so important. But in Washington, D.C. is one of the most important positions, the Postmaster General. And Kofi Boah occupied that position before he came to Elembele to be elected as Member of Parliament. So I'm guessing that, I'm hoping that Ablakwa has that information. Sometimes these are young men, they don't even have the information of who has been where. But if Ablakwa had that information, I think he should have called Kofi Boah to explain to him that we are having some challenges with the U.S. postal system. And I'm sure with the press of a button or a phone call, Kofi Boah could have been able to solve that problem, because Kofi Boah was there in 2007. Yes, in 2007, 2008, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boah was the Postmaster General in Washington, D.C. That's a matter of fact. So I'm not sure what is happening. They are both in the cabinet. Kofi Boah is Lands Minister, you are Foreign Minister, you are having difficulties. You just call him, and Kofi Boah will be able to solve this problem for you. I don't know whether he called him, but I'm guessing he didn't. So this is where we are. He says that the U.S. visa and passport to logistical, he attributing the challenges to logistical challenges on the part of the United States Postal Services. He, Ablakwa, made this revelation on the floor of Parliament on Wednesday, June 18th, while addressing growing concerns over the late arrival of visa packages, which have sparked anxiety among applicants in recent weeks. According to the minister, although the processes for issuing visas and passports have seen significant improvement, the persistent issue lies in the final stage of delivery.